Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Tag Me. My name is Ben, and we are going to be playing some Netrunner today. I hope everyone's having a good day. Happy Valentine's Day if you're celebrating. Hope everyone's been enjoying their Friday so far. In other news, we did also have a Super Bowl last week, which I guess was a game. Wasn't a great game. Not, it was nice to see Patrick Mahomes get beat, but, not really the way I would have liked to see it. Prefer to see a little bit of a game. But at least that's what we're going to talk about today, is some Netrunner here, and some more startups specifically. And I figured the last couple weeks we've been working on some decks that I had been brewing up for a little bit, just kind of playing with a little bit in my local meta. But I've been playing these decks for a number of weeks now, and I think they've made some changes, but I wanted to try something a bit different. So today that's what we're going to be doing, is I'm going to be going through and kind of showing you my process and creating a new deck, and we'll start with the corp side here today and see how much we can get going and get done from there. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time. So let's dive right in here. And I would love to know how everyone's week has been going as well. If anyone has anything else that's been happening for them. I am just pulling up our chat here just in case, so I can pull that up. Great. Cool, great, good news all around. So we are going to be starting. This is actually, before I got too far into it, if you've been following along with me as well, we've been playing our Arasana deck, which is in startup, so this is a bit different. But over the last couple weeks, there's been a big invitational tournament. The CBI here is the big invitational tournament, and the deck of the week, if you go to Netrunner DB, is this Arasana deck. So I couldn't help but take a look at this and see what's going on. And I want to start off by just saying that this write-up here, A+. Sebastian K did a great job. It goes really, really in-depth to everything, really specific card choices. There's some matchup notes in here that you can take note of. So if you want to actually dive into a deck and see some really, really high-level analysis from someone who's made a deck and who had success with it at a high-level event, I would definitely recommend giving this whole thing a read. I just wanted to point out a couple cool things, and this is a standard deck, so we've been talking about startup, and maybe this is a card pool that you might not be as familiar with, but it does a lot of really cool things, and a lot of these cards you'll actually see that have been in our deck as well, Lilypad, DZMZ, Urbanar, these things are in a lot of decks. But what I think is interesting is this diversion of funds, which it's a double, and it costs 1 to play. So as an additional cost to play this event, spend a click, run HQ. If successful, instead of breaching HQ, you may force the corp to lose up to 5 credits. Then you gain 1 credit for each credit lost. So this is kind of a siphon. It is a way for you to run HQ and steal the corporation's money and use that, probably to do something else that the corp doesn't really want you to do. And that can be used to run the remote and trash their assets, or now since the corp doesn't have money, they might not be able to res that piece of ice or that upgrade that was really keeping you out of the remote for a long time, or out of R&D, because this also runs Conduit and Pizza Sean, again, to try and use Conduit to close the games out like our deck does. It uses some different cards, so self-modifying code is something that we don't have available to us in startup, but it is pretty similar to Muse, kind of serves as a similar purpose. Maybe it's a bit, I think self-modifying code might be a little bit better in RE, even though it only gets from your stack, right? That's a bit of a limitation. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I just thought this was a super interesting deck, and I have not seen, I always like seeing Ari do well. It's not an idea I see a lot of, and I think it's really interesting. That ability to install cards at instant speed is super, super cool. So I would definitely recommend giving this a read, trying it out. pull that up into Netrunner DB and JNet and your own JNet and give it a go. And it's also 47 cards, which is good. I think Ari and Shapers in general lead to that, like, 46th, 47 card. Those are really hard to cut because you're Shaper. You have a million ways to get your cards out of wherever they happen to be. And it's really strong to be able to have that quick access. So those extra cards, like usually you wouldn't include them because it makes your deck less consistent. Well, if the cards in your deck allow for an increased consistency or allows you to search your deck or tutor your deck, is common in card games terminology, but anything that lets you search your deck or tutor your deck for a specific card to get that and play it is really, really strong. So those extra cards that you add don't really hurt you as much in a deck with this search ability as some other factions like Anarch, right? Which Anarch wants to just draw all the cards because they're going to trash half of them anyway. They're going to mosh them away, or they're just going to discard them and not care, whereas Criminal wants that really specific card draw. Like, they want to select the card out of the selection available to them, right? Like Blueberry Diesel or something. But I'm getting way off topic here. Let's make a new deck. Ooh, have a little voice crack too. That's always nice here. Let's get some water. All right. So, I have been thinking, personally have been playing a lot of NBN and Wayland myself, and I don't really want to keep making those types of decks, especially in startup. You've been watching me play Wayland for a few weeks now, and NBN, I've been playing Epiphany in my standard games, which I love, but I want to have something a bit different. And I tend to also go to HB if I'm just pulling a deck off Netrunner DB, or just to bring to a meetup, or just to have a safe deck that I know is going to be good. I've always kind of been going with HB because their efficiency is just so strong. It's really good. It's such a good baseline for a corporation. But I kind of want to go back and play with some Jinteki. Whenever I've done it, it's been a Taya in this remote building kind of style. But I want to try this bit, Restoring Humanity. When your discard phase ends, if there's a face down card in Archives, gain a credit. So this kind of, to me, encourages a bit more of a trap play style, and maybe not so much a shell game, but it wants me to use that Archives as some type of resource. So I will happily take some suggestions here. I think we're all pretty much always going to do the hedge funds. We actually did want those Hanseis. And we're just going to throw cards in here that we know are pretty good. Spin Doctor, we've played that with a bunch of Hansei reviews, a way for us to get money, and it puts a card in our archives, so that's going to help our ability trigger. Hedge Fund, it's a nice way to just gain some money. You know that. Snare, I don't know if we've talked about this one. It's really fun. When the runner accesses this asset in R&D, they must reveal it. When the runner accesses this asset, sorry, I have not been pronouncing. Snare is actually how you pronounce that, with the exclamation point. But while the runner accesses this asset anywhere except in Archives, you may pay 4, and if you do, give the runner 1 tag and do 3 net damage. So it's a really good trap. And the tag, I don't know if the tag's going to matter so much, but a lot of the time that 3 damage and just having this card in your deck makes the runner play honestly, at least in some capability. So I always like having a baseline there. Fuji asset seems good. I feel like we're probably gonna have, I don't know if that's necessarily, we're probably gonna have 2 of these at the end of the day. But let's take a look at what agendas that we can have just out of Jinteki. Sisyphus Protocol 5-2. The first time each turn the runner passes a rezzed code gate or sentry, I can pay 1 or trash a card from each queue. If you do, the runner encounters that piece of ice again. That's pretty good. Really good if we're going to end up making this big glacier-y kind of deck. I don't think it's going to be worth it if we're not playing big code gates. This would be good if we're playing Cloud Eater, but I don't know if that's what we want to bet on. See How They Run is another 4-2, different 4-2 actually. Sisyphus was a 5-2, which is worth noting as well. But when you score this agenda, give the runner a tag, play a psi game. Players secretly bid 0 to 2 credits. Then each player reveals and spends their bid. If the bids differ, do 1 core damage. If the bids match, do a net damage. Again, this is a really good way to keep chipping away. This works really well out of Jinteki Personal Evolution. But core damage can be impactful too. Nisei, another agenda, Nisei Mark II, should say, has been around since core set. When you score this agenda, place an agenda counter on it, and then it just ends the run. Just stops them, no matter where they are. After they've passed all that ice, everything, just boop, end the run. Really good. Here's the Jinteki 3-2, Longevity Serum. Shuffle some cards in. I don't think this is what we want to do either. House of Knives. I'm gonna speed this up. I don't want to go through and like read every card because that's gonna make it really hard to go back and watch. But I'll try and explain like the impactful ones. And for now, I think let's just throw some cards in here. Fuji Asset's good. I always like having some House of Knives. Nisei Mark II is really good. I just don't know if we're gonna get the Glacier going here. And I'm really kind of tempted to get 3 how they runs and the Longevity Serum. Oh, we still have one more 2-pointer we can put in. We can put in the Nisei. Actually, let's just do 2 Nisei and 2 see how they run for now. And we can go back and fix this or edit this a bit later. We actually might always want to go back to a neutral agenda too. But let's see what we got for assets. Charlotte seems really good. I think this deck is actually going to rely a bit more on cohort. And try and really use our archive. So when your turn begins, you may resolve one of the following. Trash a card from HQ, and if you do, gain 2 credits and draw a card. Turn 1 face down in archives. Face down card in archives face up. If you do, place 1 advancement counter on an installed card. I think this is something that we're going to want to do quite a lot of. And honestly, even... Okay, yeah, I guess we are going to do a bit more of a shell game for now. We can try and get some Ronins and get some net damage here. We might also end up importing some Wayland upgrades that do some more meat damage, just to kind of keep them guessing. And I think we're going to need Charlotte's as well. Charlotte's probably going to be a lot of money. We've seen this in a lot of decks as well. Not going to be as efficient as it is in some other ones, but let's just put these guys in and see what we get. Neurospike. I don't know. Trigger Light. I don't think we're going to necessarily be needing so much. Celebrity Gift. I don't think we're going to have the actions for the doubles. Bring them home. Play the run, start the soul trash. If you resolve this operation, your action phase ends. Reveal and add 2 cards at random from the grip to the top of the stack. Threat 3. You may pay 2 to reveal 1 card from the grip, and the runner shuffles it into the stack. Okay. Interesting. Add 2 cards at random from the grip. Oh, from the grip to the bottom of the stack. Okay. Interesting. So this can really set the runner back a bit. I mean, not discarding is fine. It's still effectively... Let's just put it in. I don't think I've ever actually played with that card, which really... It's cool. It seems interesting. The problem is we need a way to kill the runner. Maybe it works with the Ronins. Yeah, maybe. Let's see what we can do with this. If there's any... I think Danielle is probably the most reasonable upgrade. Anoetic, again, I don't think we're going to be doing Glaciers. Let's get some Danielle in there. Again, just making it so the runner has to keep paying cards. I think just that's what ultimately we're building here. That's going to be our resource, right? That's what we're pressuring. So let's keep pressuring, and we probably will be able to get some scores off of this. Oops, not this. We need some more ice. Cloud Eater, Boto. Man, Jinteki has some really great ice. 3 Tattoo Bola, that seems great. I don't think we're going to have a way to capitalize on a tag. Lotus Field is tempting as a meta play against Awaceris crew. But I don't know if it's going to be worth it. The Boto is probably, I think, very likely. We have a lot of barriers. A teeny. A teeny's expensive. So why are we leaning towards these big expensive pieces of ice? I don't think that's what we're gonna really be going for. Let's see if we have any neutrals. I can Tithe is probably gonna be good. I think Tithe is a nice way to annoy the runner. Enigma probably would be pretty good. We probably want a little bit more ice just to be annoying, but if we're just being annoying, I don't think the end the runs is as important. I mean, Tattoo Bola is here for economy too. I'm almost tempted to put in more Fanutrias because they're going to need to do it anyway, and then we can pressure them with tags. So maybe we do even more Fanutrias. If we do want to try and pressure them with tags, we can do planograms, which is also nice for money. We can probably add another snare. If we do that, we're already way over for cards, which makes sense. And we haven't spent any influence. That's fine for now. Let's actually look at Wayland upgrades. So I'm wondering, I'm kind of thinking Angelique would be good, because this is another way for us to do damage. But we're not okay, so what are we building here? Before we get too involved, what are we actually trying to do? I think we do want to set up a kill. And I'm honestly thinking that our most likely way to do that is going to be, you know what? We're going to try and do it this way. We're going to do Burst. We're going to try and kill them with things like Bring Them Home, Ronin, and Angelique. Yeah, let's do that. So let's get some Angelique in here too. So we have some more influence. Probably HB operation. We have 2. I feel like we probably want to try and get 2 seamless launches in here. Oh, I don't think we want to do that much. Do we want to? Maybe just 1 Angelique. Then that gives us the 3 seamless launches. Nah, we don't need seamless launch. We don't need that. That's not what we're going for. That's for scoring. That's for scoring. We're not going for scoring. We aren't going for scoring here. YDL's pretty decent. No, none of these are really calling to me here. Punitive requires us to have a lot of money, and I don't think we're going to have a lot of money. Subliminal is a card that we want just for this deck. If the runner's not running, it's good for us, and hopefully we can dissuade them from running with something in archives, or like a, you know, mean looking archives. And this is just with 12 ice. So let's see. I don't think there's anything that triggers from archives in this format. Cohort front company. Front company is actually pretty good too. We should have some front companies in here. Okay, we're gonna have to start trimming. Although we do still have more influence. We do still have some more influence. Powers That Be's a good push, but kind of the same problem where Maryland campaigns, actually that's a nice way to get some influence too. It's a good way to get money. That is a good way to get money. Let's actually do this. Let's get rid of the seamless launches. Let's get the Angelique back. 14 influence, 1. Let's do 3 Maryland's, and now let's just start cutting and get where we can be. I do want to get this to a game here, hopefully too, and see at least what we can do. Get some test draws. This is definitely something that will need to get some work and probably completely change, if I'm being 100% honest with you all. Because I'm not really sure. It's been a long time since I played a deck like this, so I am not positive what is actually going to be the best impact here. I think we're trying a few different things. Actually, we probably want to try mindscaping too. Oh, this is a way to pressure tags. See, all right, let's just keep adding. Let's just keep adding. And yeah, you know what? I'm already feeling like we're going to end up wanting a seamless launch for some of these agendas. I don't think the Nisei is going to be the answer. I think we actually want more see how they run. So let's get another see how they run in there. This is because of the damage. Like, honestly, I would prefer to have them differ and try and do some core damage and just like whittle them down over some time. But we also want Cohort Guidance Program to be able to cook here and place advancement counters on cards. Yeah, this is going to be a bluffing. This is going to be a very bluff-heavy deck. We have to cut so many cards. We are 16 cards over right now. We're 16 cards over. Man, I really would love this card, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I don't think we're going to be able to do the bring them home. Stole a Trust Core part. After you resolve this operation, your phase ends. So this ends your turn. This ends your turn. That's a big... I mean, I guess if it didn't, it'd be gross and overpowered. So that's a reasonable reason to have that cost on the card. But this might not be it for us. Don't think it is. It's not there. Although we're going to have to take a lot more to the cutting block than this. This is something that we can just dump over R&D, which is super solid. We probably don't need the Angelique. I think we're going to have to take a chopping block to a lot of this. I don't think we're going to need the 3 Charlottes. We're probably not going to need the 3 Maryland campaigns, if we're being honest. 3 Snare seems a bit optimistic. Ronin is another way for us to snipe the runner. I think we need to keep the Ronins in. I would really love to keep the front companies in too. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking the planograms. No, because the planograms make sense if we're going to be doing the tagging. We're going to be doing the tagging, friends. Although, if we're doing the tagging, is Oppo? Oppo is in here. Okay, new plan. We're revising. This is a constantly revolving plan that we got. Okay. Okay. Tags. I don't think... Is there any of the Jinteki Ice that lets us remove a tag to clear the... instead of doing the thing? Cloud Eater? Nope. 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 I guess that doesn't exist in this. Okay. That's fine. Everything's fine. We are going to keep cutting cards. We still need to cut 12 more cards. What have we done? What have we done? Man, I think Angelique is going. We have other ways now. We've kind of replaced Angelique. Angelique was just like a way to do some meat damage. I think if we're trying to land an Oppo or something to get a bunch of tags, then... Oh, you know what we also could do? Is End of the Line? End of the Line's not in... Whoops. Let's just add everything. Oh, okay. Just punitive. I guess End of the Line's in a different set. Okay, so we cannot shoot people. That's just fair. End of the Line is not... Yeah, End of the Line is not in the set. Okay. Not a startup card, which is fine. We have other things that we can do. I'm tempted to put in the third Fuji asset and save us some... I don't know if we need the House of Knives, truthfully. So if we cut... So it would be one House of Knives and the Nisei. Cut the House of Knives and the Nisei and get a third Fuji. Okay, so that saved us a card. I think that's fine. Front company's good. I don't know if we need 3. The cohort guidance is... Oof. Okay. We're just gonna have to take a chopping block to this. I don't want to... Hem and haw. Now we have a million influence to spend too, though. Okay. I guess we don't have to. We could just add in the... Nisei back. Now we only have to cut 4 more cards. So let's go down. I think the Urtica ciphers are... we'll do 1. We'll do 2 snares. Because these don't... It's like the runner has no reason not to run it. Right? Once they find out that we're on Ronin and we have the snares, and the snares cost us a lot to actually trigger. Oh, but if they run and trash your stuff, then we can oppo. So that's the pressure that we put on then, I guess. They have to either check or not. So let's actually do it this way. I think we don't need 2 or 3 front companies. I would love to keep the 2 Charlottes. Probably only need 2 Hansei reviews because that might need to come back in. With the planograms is also a good way for us to get money and draw tags. Do we need all of these? We could probably go down to 2 tattoo bolas. Hey, now we're at 49 cards. We got there. We could keep trimming. What do you think? What do you think we should do here? Right now, I think this is built... It kind of does a bunch of stuff, right? Like, we have a few assets that we want to just stick face down. But the front company is only going to matter once we protect... Yeah, the front company only matters when we protect our 2 centrals. Which I guess is pretty decent. We have the Phonutrias, which is worthwhile. That's a good face check, and it has the tag effect, which I think is pretty solid. Creasing. I like this. Can I fit it? How many of these can I fit? I can fit 2 greasings? Okay. How much here do we have? 9, 10, 11. I think we can cut one of the tithes. Now we have a lot of operations. We have a lot of operations and a lot of assets. This is interesting. I kind of want to try this out. Let's save it. Let's see. Tags and pools. And we will set this to save. Cool. Let's take a look at what we got. And view. Let's see what some of our hands look like. Now we want to have some money. We just want to have like some type of tempo. That seems like a bad Netrunner DB draw. This, if we had to, so if we were stuck with this, we get a mandatory draw. That's pretty good. So I think we play Subliminal. We Predictive Planogram to draw 3. We can Hansei the Enigma and install the Phonutria over HQ. Or, because this is 2 Urtica ciphers, right? Or do we need the Charlotte? Right, now here's the thing about this deck, is that we have a lot of things that want to be advanced, but we don't have a lot of clicks to do it. So we're like really reliant on the cohort guidance program to help us score things out and also to get advancement tokens on cards faster. So I mean, Urtica Cipher is good. Maybe we're worrying about something that we don't really need to over worry about here. But it's like, what do we trash here, right? We probably would ideally have another Subliminal in this deck too. And maybe the Planogram's the problem. Maybe really we want to use the Greasing and have that be our tag punishment, because this is arguably more impactful than the alternative modes, but it's more flexible, right? Predictive Planogram is much more flexible than Greasing the Palm is. Interesting, but let's see what another few cards here. Oppo's interesting. I don't know how we keep getting the Subliminal. See, now this is pretty good because we can start putting pressure immediately, right? We install this, we install this. 1, 2, 3. We can even draw in here, another Greasing. Spin Doctor's good, Hansei's good. These type of things are all nice. Yeah, no, I do think the Planogram's necessary. It's going to help us draw through our deck, which is very much something that we need to do. I don't know. It's been a minute since I played a deck like this. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not really sure if this is any good. Let's, you know, let's just do the thing. Let's go back. And let's get our JNet. Let's just see how it does. Let's get it in a game, huh? I think that's our best way to actually... Oops. Let's make it first. Boop, boop, boop. What do we call this? What do we call this? Anyone remember? Pools, moons, pools, tags and pools. Tags and pools. Sure. Not a Taya. This is Restoring Humanity. Great, great. And it is the startup format. Cool. Let's see what we got. Oops. Oops, not life. Tag me life. That tag me life, yo. God, I will never do that again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Please forgive me. Let's see what we can get here. So this is super interesting. And for any of you wondering, like, yeah, this is kind of how I normally build decks. I just kind of like throw cards together that seem like they'll be fun and have some vague idea of, you know, how they're going to all come together in my head and hope it works out. And I'm not really sure if this is going to work out for us or not. I also am not 100% positive how, like, we want to throw stuff out. And I think I'm ultimately just going to have to accept we're making remotes and we're going to want to spin doctor our stuff back. So the runner trashing our stuff... Oof. Well, this is not good news for us. Renee is gonna be pretty rough for a deck like this, but this is fun stuff. So I think we keep. He's gonna want to run so the Urtica Cipher can actually land a little bit, which is always nice, and it's gonna cost some stuff. Okay, cool. All right. I think we play this a bit conservative first turn, because I want to make sure that when he starts trashing stuff, it's not going to be at the cost of our central servers. So what I mean by that is I know he's the Renee is going to go and trash her stuff. That's what this ID does. And if we just give all of our servers free reign to let Lou feast, it's going to be really, really bad news for us at the end of the day, because we have nothing. Like, he's going to destroy our board, all of our board pressure. And if we also have open central servers and no board, we're not looking good. Boto's pretty good. So we can do the Charlotte, or I think we kind of push behind a Boto and just push the Charlotte here. Oh, we're going to be a credit short. We are going to be a credit short to run everything. That's fine. I think we just do this anyway. Advance. If they spend resources, we can always res the Charlotte and res the Boto. If they don't spend resources, we can, you know, let Charlotte cook. We have a few options. Spending the Boto over the remote, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. This, yeah, we're going to have it cost something. The botchless is just going to eat through this tithe. So, I'm not... Okay. So, protecting R&D is very important because they are going to eat our R&D apart. But, ooh, this is does mean we get our Charlotte, which is going to draw through what they know. Okay. So they actually, it's funny, they know we have one of these. So I'm kind of, I think we draw. We hedge fund. And we install this Daniela in front of R&D. So it's going to cost them 2 cards if they want to trash it. Relu does draw a card to replace it, but it still at least slows them down a little bit. I think this... Oh, you know where the mistake was? I shouldn't have drawn the card. I should have installed the Charlotte. Or advanced the Charlotte, excuse me. That's actually the play, the goof here. Great. Alright. So... yeah, so we advance, we install the Phonotria over R&D, and we hedge fund. And the hedge fund is debatable because we're kind of showing our hand. We're kind of showing that we have a lot of money, but we have expensive ice on the board too. We have 2 Phonotrias and a Boto out, and the Charlotte's going to help recoup that to some degree, but I think we really want to get our money up, especially with the Hermes. He's gonna try and rip our board state up. Okay, so the trick here too is if we just throw out the cohort, I don't know if we want to even try against this Lu deck to do that. I don't know if we want to do that. Let's Mindscaping. Gain 4 and draw 2. Choose 1 card to add to the top of R&D. We'll add the snare back to the top of the deck. And let's install Advance Trash. Advanced Trash install to gain money. Let's just advance and gain a credit, and next turn we're gonna push something in this remote because we know we're gonna draw the snare. R&D is protected. R is very protected. Hopefully we can draw a piece of ice after the snare. And if we don't have an agenda to push, we're going to just push the Urtica Cipher. Oh man, I really hope we do have stuff to push though. What a great turn this would be. Front company snare. Okay. Alright. Interesting. This also does hurt their clicks. But we don't necessarily... we're not worried about that currently. So, no, let's do it. I think we force some type of action. Let's install in server 1. We'll trash the Charlotte. Let's install in a new remote. And let's advance our Urtica cipher. We can res our front company. Maybe we try and push the cohort guidance that turn 2 just to flood the board to make it so Lou can't like see everything. That's really the other side of it, is like their ability isn't whenever, it's the first time each turn. Yeah, see, I wish we had an agenda to push there instead of that, but I think we advance it a couple times and pretend. I do think we're going to pretend. And I do also want to install one of these. New remote. Advance. Cool. Great. So we got some stuff cooking. The Urtica cipher is threatening a number of things. It does threaten the Ronin as well. I'm kind of wishing that we had the Ronin in that server at this point, but we don't. Which is okay. The only thing is that I guess we can put one more advancement on the Urtica cipher to make it look like a Ronin, which is probably what our bluff is going to be. Seeing as we're a bit limited in options of what we can do. And this is like one of the downsides, right, of having very few or 8 agendas in the deck, is we don't really have a yeah, we're gonna rest this. Start turn. Mandatory draw. We're gonna trash a card. We're gonna trash our, I think we trashed the Mindscaping. Yeah, I think we trashed the Mindscaping. Okay, cool. Now we actually have the thing that we want. Let's advance this once. Let's greasing out the Ronin in a new remote. And let's advance the Ronin. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what they do. I'm a bit confused because I would have thought that they would be checking our remotes. I'm not sure if our front company has dissuaded that as much as it has, but they're not running, which is super curious. They have a lot of cards in their hands, so let's start getting some tags. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Although now they might not think that server 1 is the Urtica cipher. Front company, that makes sense. Didn't think they were going to let that live. Ooh, okay. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So let's start turn. It's a mandatory draw. Let's trash. I don't really want to trash either of these. Let's trash this. Draw some cards. Okay, let's draw some more. Cool. So let's throw that out, and let's throw that out. Cool. And just keep it going, I guess. Like we're going full shell game, I guess, at this point. And I would love to get some type of pressure on them. I think we need to start advancing more of our things. So I will probably start using our cohort to turn some of these other cards face up. I'm immediately realizing that Charlotte's not the answer to this deck, I don't think. I mean, it helps, but we just don't have the clicks to be doing it. Like, compared to, you know, something like Hansei review or something that turns our ability on immediately. Like, I think it's a little bit better for our ID. But I mean, our opponent's building quite the rig. They're not messing with what we got going on. I think we just don't have a lot going on. The Ronin, we need 4 advancements? 4 or more? Okay. So that's not even like a threat for at least a turn or 2. This also needs 4. Oh, so I could score that, huh? Okay. Let's turn a card face up. Let's turn the Mindscaping face up to put an advancement counter on this. And we can... I'm not worried about HQ right now. I think we just advance both of them. Or do we advance, advance, advance? Let's advance and advance and I don't want to just gain a credit. Yeah, let's just advance this. I don't know. I figure things with advancement counters are scarier than things without advancement counters. Echelon. Yeah, they're just building a rig. Ronin. Well, that's unfortunate. That's not what we wanted to see. Yeah, they diffused it. They sure did. But we can trash a card. Goodbye, hedge fund. Goodbye, hedge fund. Let's install and advance. Boop, 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 boop. We just keep going. You just gotta keep going. It feels, you know, sometimes you just have 5 points of agenda sitting on the board, and you just gotta do it. It's just kind of how you do. I don't know if we can set up any clever scores. Can we get 5 points next turn? This needs 2. No, that needs 3, and that needs 2. No. No, we can't. Although business as usual, I'm realizing a few cards here that we really want to have in this deck. I think business as usual would be a great include. The one that puts 2 advancement counters on 2 installed cards. That would save us so much time and money. I think that's like a really big economy card in a deck like this, actually. Yeah, because the max counters that we can put on our cards is 4, and we need 5 counters right now. Although I do think we spin here to get our Ronin back. Yeah, I'm thinking we spin, we get our Ronin and our front company back. Both of those are pretty solid. But it is definitely going to be a game, a shell game. Unless our opponent just leaves all of our remotes alone and just focuses on centrals with that conduit, which is certainly a possibility. But I don't know if that's... that's not what we wanted. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna... I didn't think this was gonna keep going our way. If you consider this going our way, I suppose is the other side of this coin. Oh, they bounced the Urtica. Oh, I've forgotten all about Hermes. Oh, no. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're fools. I'm a fool. Okay, well, let's turn this face up. Put a counter on that. Oh, we're silly. Okay. If it's different. Core damage, I don't think they're going to spend 2. Great. So we gave them a core damage. They're going to bounce something. I don't think they're going to bounce the ice. That's fine. You know why it's fine? Because we have money. And we're going to turn our ability on even more. So let's do this. Let's actually do... let's dunk this back in server 1. And let's O this Enigma. Well, I guess no. We'll O the tattoo. The Enigma actually will play until they play their buzzsaw, I'm sure. But wow, 3 smart wares. You know, I've not liked this card historically in startup. It doesn't seem to be getting. I've never thought it got a lot of value, but when you have 3 of them. When you have 3 of them, it's not bad. I don't think we actually want to use that. Did they do anything? Can we play this? Nope, we sure can't. No, we sure can't. So, let's, res one of these. To install a new remote, and let's advance this and advance this, and we'll pitch. Oof. We are, in a way, I don't think the mindscaping is gonna. I don't think the mindscaping could. I guess let's get rid of the spin. We'll get the spin back if we. Yeah, we can get the spin back with our spin. Spin and Ronin, I suppose. Yeah, man, really, Hermes is brutal into this kind of deck. Hermes is really brutal into this kind of deck. I think we probably have played this not very well. Although they did just trash a card. They did get the buzzsaw. I think we still oppo them here. As much as I would love to... Or do we just score that? They're probably going to trash another thing. Nah, I think we just got to get points. Choose any number of cards in HQ to trash that. And then I can shuffle up to 3 cards. So we'll trash that. And we will get back a face down, 2 face downs, and a Ronin. Yeah, especially with Longevity Serum. I always forget. This card lets you shuffle cards back in, both from your discard or your hand. Discard from HQ, which is your hand, and then shuffle back in from your archives, which is your discard pile. So it lets you shuffle cards. So keep the cycle going, you know? Just keep it going. And they're gonna Hermes. I'm assuming... Oh, they might be thinking about the upgrade. I think... Oh, they are ignoring that. That's nice. That is pretty nice. I actually don't think we need the Spin Doctor back, since we shuffled one in. We can trash that one. So, Stratagem has their whole rig assembled. And they're dripping up to 3 credits a turn, which is a lot. Faunutria is really inexpensive. It just costs them 2 credits to get through, but it could give them a tag, which I guess is worth it. Is a worthwhile cost for me to res. Although if they do trash the Spin Doctor, no. Okay. Well, with Hermes, we'll do it. Get them a tag. Continue to encounter. Continue to movement. Oh, shit. Oops. Oh, well. Whoa, what is happening? Yeah, so we've... that was a big mistake. Yeah, big goof. All good. All good, I messed up. It is what it is. If we lose off it, we lose off of it. It's pretty significant. Because as the opponent's saying, like that puts them down 4 cards total, which is because they would trash the Daniela presumably, and do the thing. I just clicked too fast. Which do be like that sometimes. I think we got to Spin Doctor and try and get her back though. Yeah, man. I'm really not used to playing JNet. I really prefer in person. It's all good. This is why. You just gotta practice. Either way. If I was, you know, I shouldn't forget. There's plenty of tournaments on JNet too. That's on me. I don't know what they're thinking. Do you have a trigger? It's on you. All good? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're... Check. Maybe they're thinking? I assume they're thinking. Yeah, so I think we need to get the Daniela back. It's probably... because we need 3 points, right? So we gotta either try and flatline them or get 3 points out before they score 2. So they're on game point, and we're a bit far away at this point. We do still have... So it's possible for us to score just the 1 Fuji asset that we need left. But it's going to be pretty difficult with where we're at. Just because we don't have a remote. We don't really have meaningful ice. We can oppo them. But it's going to cost us more percentage of money than it's going to cost them. Right? It's going to cost them 8 credits to remove the tags, and it's going to cost us 7 credits to give them all the tags. We have the planogram, which is a nice way to get some money back. But, man, it's tough. Because we definitely want to oppo. And I guess we'll start recreating the remote server just to give some type of play. The real thing is... No, they'll probably... They know we have mindscaping. They've seen the mindscaping. And I think they've seen an oppo. So I don't think the Oppo is going to be much of a surprise for them. Yeah, and the tags we haven't really been able to land either. So maybe this is a bit of a learning curve. That our opponent in this whole game hasn't trashed our board state at all. Which is pretty interesting. I would have, well, I mean, until the end of the game, right? Like the whole beginning of the game, they let us do whatever we wanted. And I suppose we didn't really put up much of a threat, right? So it's not like we were doing anything with the remotes. It was just kind of like stuff that we had going on, which is one of the problems, I think, is like it doesn't always feel like it's like cohesive right now. And I think the business as usuals would help. And I'm pretty positive those are, yeah, those came out in the most recent set. So that would help tempo a lot. Just to get cards out of our hand, get cards out of HQ, get cards on the board. And advanced cards are way scarier than unadvanced cards. So being able to just start putting that down, you know, and like getting it out, and get those type of advancement counters on the board without paying for them too. It's just, that's a lot. It's a lot of value we're missing out of right now instead of just advancing slowly every single time. I'm beginning to think that there is a connection problem. Well, sorry about that. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we'll give our opponent a little bit more time and hopefully get this resolved here pretty quick. But yeah, this is pretty, I think this is like worst case scenario for us as far as deck goes. Because it is technically feeds into it. We wanted to just like go sideways, but Renee wants to prevent us from going sideways. And it just didn't get like going. The Hermes too on top of it. And this is a card that I think we're going to see everywhere in Startup, and it's in Standard too. But like this effect where you can just bounce cards back does make this type, the type of corp deck that we're playing right now, a bit tricky to pilot too, because you can't really exist in a world full of advanced cards if every time something gets scored or stolen, you can bounce one of those cards back. Like that 4 advanced Urtica Cipher that we had on the board was a really nice threat, because it could have very well been a Ronin, or at the very least it could have been like a Trick of Light battery, right? Which is nice for fast advance. Ooh, and honestly, the more that I think I should be doing Trick of Light, we should just be doing full-on traps. We're goofing. We are really goofing over here, friends. I definitely think that's what we need to commit more to the horizontal lifestyle. I guess our internet dropped out. Happens sometimes. Cool. Oh, that's super kind. Opponent gave us the cards. So that was the... Cool. Sweet. So we paid Everything all good. We still will spin, and we'll get our spin and our... I want our Daniela. I think we actually need something like this Ronin back. Start our turn. Cohort guidance. Fair enough. So we will install a new remote. We will install the Urtica Cipher in a new remote. And then I think we send it. Yes. We do. Give them a pile of tags. That's a pretty solid turn. The planogram in hand is nice. A lot of times you'll be tempted to play this on a turn where you want to oppo or do something like that. But we now can save it as a recovery because our opponent doesn't know that we have the ability to recover so quick. So they might... Okay, so they just played it safe and cleared the tags, which is smart. They know we play Mindscaping too. So, no tricky, fun things for us, sadly, but I think that is a perfectly reasonable thing for them to do. Perfectly reasonable thing for them to do. And we will build... I think we draw first. And yeah, we'll stick that in a new remote. But we did get our Fuji asset. So I think we need to figure out a way to score it. Oh, without our cohort guidance is going to be a problem. Because that was our way. I guess we need install advance, and then advance. So that's 5. Boto is 6. So we need 11 credits. We need 11 credits to score that out. Oh, we have House of Knives. We have 1 House of Knives. We need 11 credits. I think... Let's just install server 9 and gain some credits. So next turn, if we advance, we'll gain a credit back. Then we'll have Boto. Then we'll... Okay. So our math is good. We can start scoring next turn. Although they're just going to be able to get in here, I think. Yeah. GG's. Yeah. Really well played by our opponent. Super good. Very, very clean. They knew when they had to run. Like, once we... They don't need to run until we start putting pressure with our cards. Yeah, and our opponent even commented on it as well, right? It's like, Hermes is really, really good when you want to leave advancement counters on unresed cards. And that's kind of what this deck wants to do. And I think we learned. We don't need to jump back into this game. We need to go back and make some changes. Because we have some ideas, right? Our vision's changed. It's different. We got new ideas. So much new stuff going on. All right. So, what did we talk about? Business as usual. Business as usual. 1 counter for those. We probably want at least 2 of those, so we'll get 2 of those. I don't know if we need the 3 greasing. That's probably something that can get cut. The Charlotte's pretty good. The 1 of snare is pretty good. I like the 2 and 2. What did we actually want? What other stuff? We wanted to commit, right? What did we say? We wanted to commit to our remote spam, which is going to be our business as usual. And we had some other nonsense. What was it, friends? What else did we want to put in our nonsense remotes? Did we want more things that we could score? Or did we just want more pressure? More annoying things? Less of this stuff? Well, we said we wanted Hansei reviews to turn on our ability, but now we're saying cohort guidance is better than that, right? So let's do 3 cohort guidance, 3 Charlottes. We probably want 3 business. We probably... Oh, we still can keep the greasing. All right, so we don't have to back on that. We can cut so much stuff. Enigma, 3 Phonutria, yeah, we'll keep that. I'd love to get more front companies, that would be good. The planograms, I don't know if this is as necessary if we're going to... No, this is necessary. What are we saying? Planograms get us out. Mindscapings are really good. Subliminal is technically fine. I don't think we actually need it. Our ID ability is gonna hopefully replace the subliminal. And what else? I'm just not sure about this greasing either, because we're not trying to like fast advance something out. I think we just cut the greasing. Is there a cerebral overrider? No. No. Subtype ambush? Artica Fuji. There's not a lot of ambushes. There is not a lot of ambushes in startup. Alright. So the 1 snare, 2 Ronin, 2 Urtica Cypher, 1 front company, 3 cohort, 3 Charlotte. Some pretty good money. We probably can get a bit more pricklier piece of ice with our... Not that. Not this. Let's find something that's good. What would be good? I mean, the House of Knives doesn't really do anything either, but I don't think we lose a card slot if we cut it. So, oh, we have too many things. We do not want assets. Then maybe we do. But let's look, just look for some ice. Find something, some chunky thing. Don't think we're gonna need to do that. Seraph, that's a lot of money. A lot of things, a lot of money. Starlit Knight. Probably not good. Probably not good. Interesting. Let's just do it. Let's get weird. I'm a fan of getting weird. We'll get rid of the tithe because we have expensive ice now. We probably don't need the 2 Botos. Let's do 1 Enigma, 3 tattoos. Because I think we're going to want the money from this. I think we're going to want the money. Okay. Let's try again. Let's see where we get. Let's see where we get. This is, by the way, why... This is the reason why Netrunner is a very difficult game to deck build for. Is I feel like the influence system really opens up deck building and creativity, and you're not limited so much by like the cards that you could like. I mean, you're limited by cards you could play, right? But it's like it encourages you to try new things. Like I don't think I've ever seen a Starlit Knight out of Jinteki before, but it's kind of seems interesting with our predictive planograms and our mindscapings, right? It's like it's a different avenue for us to try our deck out. And I just think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing to do. Did we select this? Sorry, I'm very excited to try this out. So let's go back to our deck builder. Let's edit this thing. Let's edit this thing. Edit the save. Look at this. We got a news organization. Well, there is an opponent. No. Let's see if we can corp. Let's see if we can corp. Timing live corp startup. Let's see if we can do it. Let's go. Let's go. Hopefully we get some better luck. I feel better. I feel better about this. I think we can do it. I think we can get a win. I think we can get a win this time. We got a real shot. Cool. So that startup player that was in the other game did decide to come and join us, which is very exciting. Wonder if this is a newer player, or they're trying to figure out what deck they want to play. Oh, and a little bit of honesty. I'm not gonna gas myself up here. I don't know what I'm doing. I want to keep this because of Starlit Night, and I like it, but this hand does not help us. Well, I guess the Mindscaping. Let's keep. Let's just see what happens. We at least can ice up. We have some cards that we just added, so let's just do it. Oh, that's pretty good. Install advance. We can do all of our fun stuff. Yeah, that's pretty okay. That's pretty okay. They can get in if they really want to, cost them a few cards and a tag, gives us our money back, and gives them a really annoying remote to deal with. Seems okay. All of those things seem okay. Carnivore. Cool. Super, super cool. All right. So they're going to do some more eating. Let's advance. Oops, 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 res. Boop. Start turn. Mandatory draw. More Mindscaping! Just what we always wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so let's draw. Let's install this over HQ. Let's install this. Oh no, let's not. Let's advance this once. Advance that once. And turn. And let's get rid of a Mindscaping. As much as I love Mindscaping, I don't think we need 3. Seems a bit excessive, even with our Starlit Night and Phonutria. Why yes, I will res a Phonutria. Boop. Continue. I will trash. Cool. So, took some cards. What did we get? Retrieval Run and an Ice Carver? That's pretty good. Those are pretty good. Man, I do think we should try and find a way to cut 5 cards here, though. Yeah, we'll res that too. I think we just fire here. Because I can't do anything about that. Well, I think they're going to clear the tags. Granted, we don't have enough for both of them. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That seems reasonable. Install credit? What are we trying to do here? They're going to draw cards. They're definitely going to draw cards. We've already lost one Mindscaping. But yeah, let's Mindscaping. Gain 4, draw 2 cards. Add a card to the top of R&D. You can look at our Mindscaping. And then we will install in server 1. And we will advance. Maybe we didn't want to put the Mindscaping there because I did realize they can trash it with Carnivore. But I don't know if it's probably worth it for them to trash, huh? Hopefully they don't run. Hopefully they just decide not to check it. I mean, Danielle's really good. She's kind of just like hanging out, right? Like if we don't have anything to install over... Oh, she could just protect R&D. Actually, she can just protect R&D. Because it still costs something. Although it's much better if there's something in front of R&D, right? Much, much better. But I think next turn we're going to install the Urtica Cipher and start doing some business as usual pressure. Res Charlotte, start turn, mandatory draw. Use Charlotte. Great. So let's install Urtica in a new remote. Let's business as usual. Advance 2 cards. And I don't want to play the hedge fund. Do we just advance this again? Yeah, let's just advance this again. We could have installed Daniela. I don't... Arguably over... R&D would be preferable. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's going to be... I think that might be it. GG. We got it. That advancement. Sure. Let's go again. All right, cool. So we got them. A little bit of trickery. I mean, they know what we're up to now. They've seen a lot of our tricks. So let's see if they're going to or if we're going to. They're going to. Okay. Cancel. Join. Under court. Tags and pools. Cool. Let's go again. So this is actually really fun, right? This is like kitchen table-y kind of vibes. I think I like it, but we need to protect ourselves. We cannot protect ourselves. Cool. All right. Planograms are good. Tattoo's good. I think this is just something that we should do. I do want the cards. All right, so we'll install that. We'll install a new remote. Actually, there we go. This is going to turn our ability on and feels much better. So now we'll new remote, and now we'll install this over HQ because we want to protect our R&D. HQ. No, R&D. R&D. And we will end our turn, and now we're going to trash the Mindscaping, I think. Okay, and that gets our ability. See, we get a little bit more done here. I think the Mindscaping is worth it early game, because really this is going to it's going to net us more credits in the course of the game this way, I think. Ooh, that's good. Solidarity badge. Okay. That's pretty decent. 1, 2, 3 isn't quite enough. So let's hedge fund and let's just push, right? Try and do this a little bit differently. So now the snare is obviously, right, a big threat out of HQ. We're lowering the amount of cards that are in hand, so if they run it, we have a 33% chance of them getting snared and that money to score it, or to pay for it, which is great. We have the business as usual, which is going to put advancement counters on both of these things. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. The Nisei isn't our ideal first agenda. I kind of would rather have a see how they run, if I'm being honest. Just to try and pressure the hand size a bit, because a core damage early is impactful. But this should still be a decent start. Vertical Cipher, okay. But it does power the Solidarity, so that nets them 2 credits back, huh? It's not bad. Kind of wish that they left it out. Front company. I feel like we install it. No, let's do this. Draw 3. Okay. And we'll place 2 advancement counters. Maybe the fermenter is worthwhile there. Denies them 6 credits. I don't know. I think that's a really interesting card. This is like... I think this is a really good card. Like, both of these are great. Place 1 advancement counter on 2 installed cards. Remove all virus counters from an installed card is really relevant in the game. Because it just denies money, right? Like, every turn that's worth more and more money. But maybe this is arguably better. I don't know. I just think that card's really good. That's not great for us. But it's fine. Might, yeah, definitely the worst one. Definitely the worst one. And that's from anywhere, right? Yeah. That's okay. That's fine. I don't love that they have the money on the fermenter ready to go, because we're going to score out this Nisei, I think, for almost certainly. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Why do you do this to us? All right, let's score. Let's score. I think we might have been able to keep it up and keep building up the remote pressure. But I think staying even in points here is also really worthwhile. Because again, we're playing a Lu deck, and Lu is going to control our board. That's what they do. Yeah, right? And I mean, another piece of ice would be pretty sweet here just to protect HQ. Because this is definitely impactful. The pressure that they have here. I mean, what? They've stolen See How They Run, they've trashed Ronin, they've trashed Urtica Cypher, or no, they trashed Front Company from hand. So it's not, you know, it's really not nothing. I think we push, they probably botulus this. Cookbook? They almost certainly botulus this. Yeah, that's just, it feels like a botulus target. So let's just do it, right? Let's just do it. I think they're gonna botulus this Enigma and run and get through. But they could also think this is a bluff. I would be shocked if we don't get botulus here, honestly. Oh, Audrey. Okay, well, that's fair. That's another way to do it, too. Audrey certainly can get through the Enigma. As long as they run with a card in their hand. And the Buzzsaw, yeah. And the Buzzsaw. I don't think we bother. I don't think it's worth it at all. So stealing our things. We need to figure out a way to build some pressure. Because one of our Ronins is already gone. Oh, they're going to hit our other Ronin here. I know it. Oh, they hit our snare. Oh, if that was a Ronin! If the Urtica Cypher was a Ronin! Or if we draw 2 Mindscapings, we can win. That's all it takes. A Boto is not a Ronin. Definitively not a Ronin. Definitely not a Ronin. So new remote, and let's gain a buck. Let's gain a buck. Yeah, I don't know what we... Oh, we did trash the botulus, though. So I did call the botulus was there. But they just had all the answers in the world. Conduit, Cookbook, Fermenter. This actually seems pretty familiar. Pretty similar to the deck. Oh, no. The last deck we were playing was Hermes. Was Hermes and didn't play Audrey. That's right. But I mean, this is probably the best bet that we have when we have no cards in HQ. I think we just have to keep throwing our cards in remote somewhere. Because otherwise it's like they just keep running HQ. I mean, they don't have a leech counter right now, but you get the point. Play the cards the best that we can. I think we just install this in front of HQ now, just as something, right? Install, advance, gain a credit. We really don't have a lot to do right now. Our board state's not doing so hot. And with Audrey, they can pretty much get in anywhere. And this Boto really doesn't do anything if we don't have cards in hand, huh? This is a 6 strength barrier that says end the run. Or excuse me, that says due to net damage. That's all this does. Does not even say end the run right now. And yeah, we're just so slow. We're so slow. And I don't think we're going to get a setup like that again, where our opponent loses their whole hand. Do not think so. Cohort. Okay. I mean, it's... They get 2 credits back, 1. It's like, it's so tempo positive for them to do here. So let's just install this in server 3. Let's advance and let's advance. Let's make them rethink this Urtica cipher. I think it could be a Ronin or something. I mean, I don't... It's not worth it. It costs them 1 credit to break it. And it cost me 3 credits to res it, so... Don't think that's a good res. And I think we advance Urtica Cipher once and Ronin once. And hopefully install the other card that we draw. Hopefully it gets us money. That would be my ideal. Get some money and crank these a little bit. Oh, that's not what we want. Tattoo Bola is 1 credit. Nope. 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 Oh, I was going to say maybe Fuji Asset Retrieval does it for us here, but it does not. Because this does... They would win the game. So it doesn't matter how much damage we can do if they win the game, right? Thinking about it. So they must be able to trash it? Daniela, yeah. Okay, so that was something they can trash. But we don't have a way to kill them here. Yeah, just gain some money. That seems reasonable. They know what we're drawing. Mindscaping. We Mindscape. That'll go to the top of R&D. We'll install that in server 3. And let's advance let's advance this. Let's advance our Ronin again. Keep the shell game going. The next turn, I think we advance both the Urtica Cipher and the Ronin. And threaten. I think they still run the Ronin. I think they know enough. What are they installing? Getting a leech again? Botulus? Botulus, probably. Or the fermenter, I guess, would be the other. Or conduit. Conduit would make sense. Conduit and pressure the tattoo. No? Did I miss something? I mean, they have all the answers right now, too, the Audrey. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. So it was the conduit. They just needed to replace the thing. Okay, that's fair. That's reasonable. We still have a snare in the deck, huh? This could do it. If they see a snare, we will not res. Come on, snare. It's not a snare. Guess it's not them winning. Ah, it is them winning the game. Nice, GG. Nice. The pressure Lou puts on is real. Yeah, our opponent played that super well. Yeah, made sure not to make the same mistake that they did in the last game, which is very reasonable, I think. Couldn't find anything to stop the gap. That's how I felt. I just couldn't do anything early game with HQ. I think I needed to push a little bit. Maybe that's wrong with this type of deck where we're always constantly pushing, but against Lou, it just changes the whole equation. Like, it really changes how this deck wants to operate. But... But yeah, I think we probably should have considered pushing. I mean, we only played against Lou, but I think this is something. There's something fun here. But our opponent dipped out, but that's fine. Yeah, I think there's something to this. I do want to keep tinkering with this. I think I'm gonna make some more changes and keep tinkering with it a little bit and see where we can get and go from there and revise. You know, things sitting on it's always a good way to evaluate decks. So I think that's going to be all for us today. I think we're going to call it here, but thank you very much for watching and sticking along with me, and you know, hopefully this helped give you some insight into making a deck. I think this honestly is going to use some of my work from last week where we, you know, went through and looked at a top deck, and I think that's going to be a really good exercise for me to do with this one after this. So that's going to be my Friday night plans, but I hope you guys have some great weekend plans coming up, and thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you again next week. Later.
Duh.